So good afternoon and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This talk is about how residential agents should go about choosing the right suppliers for their business. Can I just start by asking for a show of hands, so I know with the audience is more supplier based or agent based, it's relevant for both of you. So could I have a show of hands for agents in the audience, please? Okay, Katie. And a show of hands for suppliers to residential agency. Okay, all right. More supplier based, biased, but relevant nonetheless. Okay, my name is Charlie Wright. I'm the founder of a platform called Best Agent. Best Agent is a free platform for single office agents that automates daily tasks, but more importantly, and relevantly to this talk, it allows all industry suppliers to connect their products to the platform so that the long tail of 15,000 small agents can access whichever supplier they want in an integrated way. I've been supplying tech and marketing products to estate agents for 20 years, and the general feedback from most agents is that when it comes to choosing their suppliers, this is the list of words that comes out. Bear in mind, I was talking to James Dearsley from Unisu earlier. Currently there are 543 residential agency suppliers registered in the UK alone. Okay, 543 supplier companies to residential agents. So when you are a residential agent, you've already got an overwhelming choice. So that's why this is the general feeling communicated by agents. But if you get that choice right as an agent, it's lucrative, service enhancing, profitable, morale boosting for your team, and makes you more competitive. So this talk is about the difference between getting your tech choices wrong and getting them right. And this is as important for suppliers to understand as it is for agents. So how do you get it right? How do you whittle down a selection of hundreds and hundreds of suppliers to find out the handful, the 5 or maybe 10 suppliers that are going to do more for your business than any other combination of suppliers? I've come up with 6 rules of choosing for estate agents, okay? Estate or letting agents follow these 6 rules. This has nothing to do with supplier categories, nothing to do with brands. This is a general approach that if agents follow, they should be able to get the best results from their tech. Number 1, do it yourself. Make the choices yourself. Decide for yourself what products you want to use. This is easily the most important of all the rules. You've all got a copy of that diagram in front of you, right? For my money, that's the most complicated process that any industry has to deliver to the consumer. And there are products that can help you with almost all of the steps along that way. So, are you really going to delegate or outsource the decision-making process to find the right products for your estate agency? So, under the do-it-yourself, I'm saying don't delegate that responsibility. Don't outsource it, because no one else that you pay will be able to give you better advice on what the right products for your business are than you yourself know. Every single estate agency office is unique. Even 2 different offices of the same brand are different in the way they run. Different profile of properties, different profile of staff, different marketplace. So every agency office is unique. You can't outsource this choice. And number 3, I think it's fair to say that most agents feel overwhelmed with advice. And my advice is ignore all the advice on what you should use in your business, because only you as the owner of your agency are the right person to choose. Okay, so listen to what people say about other products, but don't, if someone says, oh, you must use this product, just because a good product works for one agent does not mean it will solve the same problems for another. 2 different agents will have 2 different sets of problems. Here's an example of advice to ignore. So one of the things that Best Agent Marketplace does is it automatically imports all lettings and sales leads from the 3 major portals into the agent's applicant database. And roughly speaking, this is the breakdown. So if you're an agent choosing which portals to be on, you might look at that and think, oh, that's going to influence my choice, but it really shouldn't. Because two very similar agents in the same town would probably need a different combination of portals depending on the style of their business, what kind of properties they're selling. Okay, so information like this, whilst interesting, is not information you should base your decisions off. More information. So far, of all three portals, this is the percentage of leads who go ahead and actually book a viewing, having inquired on a property. Interesting stats, but should this mean that you choose one over the other for your business? No, because it might be different for your business. The results on the percentage of leads who request viewings might be completely opposite of that. This is interesting oversight information, but it is not advice that agents should use to choose which portal that they should be on or not be on. Number 2, one of the easiest mistakes for agents to make when choosing tech is choosing a path or a product that further down the line restricts their choices and prevents them from being able to do something else they want to do. There are various products that are great products in their own right, but may create barriers to other things you want to do. So be very, very careful when choosing your tech that you don't end up choosing a product that restricts your choice of other products that might work with that one. Again, 32 different steps. You might end up having a tech product or a supplier product for half of those, 15 different products. You don't want to find yourself stuck with a choice of only a certain selection, because whilst they might be good products, they may not suit your business as an agent. So, don't accept limitations. Don't automatically accept anyone's partners. They might be great products, but they may not be what you need for your business. So, always keep the freedom to choose whichever specific product is right for your estate agency business. And the world of technology, as most of the people here know, moves extremely fast. So be very careful if you're choosing an older product, because that older product is less likely to be able to adapt as new technologies and products come along that it may want to interact with. Rule 3. So most estate agents and letting agents I know have got a long, long list of problems they'd like to solve. Okay? An overwhelming list. So where do you even begin? My advice to agents is always this: sit down and work out for your unique business, what is the single biggest pain point, your biggest problem, and solve that first and ignore everything else. Even though there are countless great products out there, if they're not the solution to your biggest problem, then they are a distraction. Again, every single one of these points on that journey is a potential problem area for agents. Okay? So, where is your biggest pain point along that customer journey at the moment if you're an agent? Because if you fix that problem, choosing tech and implementing tech takes time and effort and energy and money. Fixing your biggest problem first will give you the biggest return on the time and money invested. And number 3, once you've fixed your biggest problem, then move on to the next biggest problem and keep doing that. But do it one at a time. Pick your biggest problem, find a product that solves it, and then move on to the next one. And do not be seduced by the huge variety of great products on offer if they don't solve your biggest problem. Number 4, there are countless products out there that do all kinds of clever things. Some of them are products that directly improve the service to customers, the service to movers, the service to sellers, landlords, buyers and tenants. Wherever possible, always choose products that, as well as giving you improvements you want in your office in terms of admin, time efficiency, or cost saving, look for the products that at the same time will end up delivering a better experience for your customers, because that is one of the areas you'll get the most long-term value for that decision. Again, many of those steps, but not all of them, involve interaction with your customers. It's a huge amount if you think about it. The number of times that you have to go backwards and forwards interacting with customers just to get one deal done. So choose tech that your customers will notice in a positive way. Admin-only tech is great and it can save you time and money, but it is a more limited benefit if it only delivers improvements in admin in your office but not for your customers. Look for products that don't just reduce your workload, but perhaps maybe even completely eliminate one of your most routine, repetitive, time-consuming steps. Maybe you'll find a product that doesn't just remove that process for you, but it also removes the cost of that process for you at the same time as doing something better for your customers. If you find those products, those are the ones that will make the biggest difference to your business. Number 5. Every agent I've spoken to has said that they've met suppliers who sit down and listen to them, and suppliers who sit down and talk at them. Okay? And a supplier who sits down and just pitches their product without talking to the agent and saying, on that diagram, where does my product help you? And doesn't understand the context of how they might fit into that agent's business, isn't checking that their product, no matter how good it might be, is actually a solution to a problem the agent has. So when you start as an agent talking to suppliers, my advice is, if you have a salesperson come to pitch you a product and they're not listening to you, but you like the product, I'd call their boss and say, look, I like your product, but your guy just didn't listen. Make sure you choose listening suppliers who will listen and find out what your problems are, and be certain that their product will help solve that problem, because otherwise it ends badly for both the agent and the supplier. So agents, are suppliers listening to you? Do they understand what's different about your business? And if a supplier doesn't and can't explain to you, well, I've listened to what you said and my understanding of your business is this, then they haven't listened. And number 3, do they understand how their product or service fits into the context of your overall business? Rule number 6. You get to the point where you want to go ahead with a product that you love. You love the product, you think it solves your biggest problem, you're ready to sign. There's one more important step. Make sure you consider what happens in the event it doesn't work out. Because sometimes, through nobody's fault, these things don't work out as expected. Okay? So, if a purchase fails and you are relying on a return on that investment, can you afford it? Can you afford to lose the money that costs? Check that the worst case scenario is a risk that you can manage and accommodate. And does the benefit, if the product works out for you, justify and outweigh the risk of it going wrong? Make sure you ask yourself those questions, because sometimes it's a no-brainer, like, yep, the risk is very limited, and you can accept the risk, but other times it's a very long-term commitment, and you might find yourself tied into something that, not because there's anything wrong with the product, but it just doesn't fit your business correctly. It might end up costing you a lot of time and money, and stopping you from moving to something else. So, in 3 recap points. Number 1, choose your biggest pain point. Number 2, select the suppliers that will listen to you. And number 3, avoid restrictions, check your exit cost, and then sign up. Now, I've been asked to talk about portals as well. And the portal discussion is one of the most hotly debated topics in the industry, for reasons that I understand. However, as a completely neutral and impartial observer of this market sector for a long time, my opinion about what agents should do is this: it is not an either or, and it doesn't matter whether there's 1, 2, 3 or 30 to choose from. The decision is, on a case-by-case basis, does this portal generate me the business to justify its cost, yes or no? If yes, use it. If no, it doesn't. You obviously don't know that up front, so look at the costs you're being asked to pay for a portal. Decide on how much income you would want that portal to generate for you in order to cover its cost. So in other words, set yourself a target. And then number 3, most importantly of all, but it's difficult, track the sources of every deal. Most agents find that it's very time consuming to track the source of every applicant and every vendor and every landlord. But if you don't, and you're wondering whether to be on a portal or not, then you are just guessing. There is only one way to know if a portal is worth the money it costs. Whatever that cost is, it doesn't matter, okay? If it's bringing you in 100 times what it costs, it doesn't matter what it costs, it's worth it. The only thing that matters is whether it's generating the returns you want. But for agents who are too busy to track every single applicant where they come from, just start tracking at the point where a deal is agreed. When a buyer or a tenant has an offer accepted, that's the point at which you say, right, where do they come from? Which portal do they come from? So that when you get your income from each deal completing, you are able to assign your income to where the leads came from. Then you will know. So it's not an either or on the portals, okay? It's assessing each one independently, not comparing it with others, and going independently, is this portal worth the price they charge? So again, looking at the overall statistics of portal lead imports, is of no use whatsoever to any agent deciding whether to be on a portal or not, because it doesn't tell them what leads they will get. What's the number one thing that affects the number of leads a particular agent will get? Does anyone want to answer that question? What is the number one thing that will affect the quantity and quality of leads that a particular agent will get from a particular portal? It's what listings they have, okay? If you've got 40 listings and your competitor's got 10, you're likely to get more leads than he has. That doesn't mean the portal's doing better for you than it is for him. It's a result of how many listings you've got and whether those listings are priced sensibly or not. Because again, if you are taking on instructions at too high a price, don't be surprised if you don't get very many inquiries. Is that the portal's fault? No. So again, I go back to my original point, which is each individual agent's got to decide for themselves which products are right and wrong, and that includes the portals. Now, when it comes to portals, of course, they're generating you buyer and tenant inquiries most of the time. So information like how many of your inquiries convert into viewings is an important metric to check, I think. Because 100 inquiries that don't turn into viewings is worth nothing. In fact, every single lead just costs you time and money until they move. Would you agree with that, Katie? So, recap the 6 rules. Number 1, decide for yourself. Number 2, don't accept restrictions. Number 3, solve your big problems first. Number 4, prioritize tech that improves customer service. Number 5, only deal with suppliers who are listening suppliers. And number 6, check the worst case scenario before signing. But the golden rule for any agent choosing their technology is decide for yourself. Do not delegate it, do not outsource it, do not accept external advice. You need to choose for yourself which products are going to solve your biggest pain points. So thank you very much for listening. That's the end of that talk, and if anyone has any questions, I'd be very happy to answer. Thank you very much.